despite the sort of official line on this, is it fairly evident that it's a combination of both the initial protests against the CAA, NRC, and subsequently what happened in Assam as the real reasons why the BJP seems to have done this kind of U-turn or slowdown?
Yeah, Vasu, there's a date that I don't think many people will have given much thought to yet, and that's March 26th, 2021. Now, that date is not pertaining to the Bengal election or the Assam election, though it may fall just between them. What that is the 50th anniversary of the liberation of Bangladesh from West Bengal. It's Bangladesh's 50th Independence Day. And obviously, that's going to be a momentous occasion, not just for Bangladesh, but for the Indian Armed Forces. It's a 50th anniversary of the most consequential military victory that India has, that the Indian Armed Forces have ever won. Now, Prime Minister Modi is meant to be in Dhaka on that date, and there are many kind of bilateral activities planned.
Sure.
And you have to ask yourself, what is that date going to look like if the CAA is being advanced, if it's being implemented at that time? Now, the CAA promises to put more of a cloud over India-Bangladesh relationship than anything has done in the last 50 years. Essentially, we saw this happen immediately after the law was passed in December of last year, that the Bangladesh government, its diplomats cancelled plans to visit India. One of its diplomats was assaulted in Guwahati. It immediately began to embitter and endanger India's best diplomatic neighborly relations.
Right.
Like India and Bangladesh have. So, picture the 50th anniversary of the 1971 liberation of India's 1971 war being derailed, which will surely happen, by this surely not very necessary or pressing exercise.
Okay, so
which
that's
is
another
the CAA NRC.
Interesting.
This is just so. Yeah. So the point, Basu, is just that there is a number of highly sensitive repercussions and political considerations.
Okay.
The entire Assam election might well swing on this, but this is just one.
Okay. Yes. This is another. Sure. This is another interesting layer. But Shikha Mukherjee, is it equally true because you're in West Bengal that the political traction that the BJP was, I mean, in addition to the Assam dilemma and the Bangladesh dilemma, that the political traction the BJP was hoping to get from CAA and NRC, which perhaps helped them in 2019, they're not sensing that on the ground now? Is that another reason to play the whole thing down?
I think that is very correct. That on the ground, the BJP is understanding that the CAA NRC, divisive as it is, polarizing as it is communally, is not going to give them the kind of traction, as you said, going forward. And let me say this also, that it's, JP Nadda was here a couple of weeks ago, and he said that CAA and NRC would be rolled out almost immediately in January. So within the last 15 days, the BJP seems to have done a calculation, seems to have done a reality check, as it were, and come to the conclusion that CAA NRC is a bad idea going forward in this election because, as Shogotada would know very well, there would be tens of thousands of Hindu Bengalis who would find it very difficult to prove their identity in West Bengal, as has happened in Assam.